And my thought then was that back in the early days when we talked about your identity, especially being on Bad Boy, did you guys, the four of you at the time, were you at a point where you could support yourselves and say, guys, this is what we've been training for, and let's not get too um, let's not stray away from what our beliefs are and our values. You know, that was the other part of the question about how did you maintain that unique sound that you had when you joined Bad Boy.
So, one of the things that we did, it was like building blocks. Like, okay, we at first, created the sound as far as like the harmonies as well as the lead singing. Then we were blessed to be able to go right on tour. I mean, as soon as we dropped an album, we were right down the tour. Our first tour was the Isley Brothers.
Wow.
From there, we started learning that we wanted to be a group that was considered a touring act. With a touring act, we understood that the majority of the money that's really made is through the touring revenue. We started then adding pieces and parts, watching the greats that we basically looked up to. So when you see the Isley Brothers or New Edition or Keith Sweat or Janet Jackson, like it just goes on. Like it's like we were picking up like Whitney Houston. We went to Whitney Houston. Like you pick up amazing aspects from that artist, and then we added to our repertoire. So being that ultimate touring group, because 112, we're perfectionists in ourselves. Like just when you thought we were on top of the world, one situation, we were never content. We wanted to add more things to us. You know what I mean? So it just in respect to us being a touring act, like we were singing and we sounded amazing, but we didn't want a boring show. So looking at New Edition, we were like, man, we need to learn how to perform. We need to go and we need to take it up a little bit higher. And I'm so glad that we invested our own money. You know what I mean? There were times where we were thinking crazy. It was like, I mean, I could buy this house here. We're still in the hood, but you know what? We could invest into ourselves right now. And it was, and we got with choreographers, and I'm glad we did that because then it opened up other avenues, like being on tour with Janet Jackson. You know what I mean? That opened up even more revenues. You know what I mean? And then when groups weren't even dancing, we made dancing cool. You know what I'm saying? Like so like the art of entertainment. You know what I mean? We wanted the fans to say, if you work so hard for your money, and you know what I mean, and you want to be entertained, if you want to be entertained and get your money's worth, you're going to a 112 show. So that's exactly, and I'm so glad we're doing that. So like right now, we're of the premier, we're in the top tier of our era, you know what I mean, of our genre. You know what I mean? Because we have a stamp that says like if you come to a 112 show, if you're on our show, you better understand, you better bring your A game. You'll get eaten alive in a lot of ways, you know what I'm saying? Not just singing. So that's why I'm saying like, and thank goodness that, that's what we were doing. We were just adding on, feeding that demon of us, the perfectionism of, and not settling, you know what I'm saying? And, so, that's pretty much how we did it.
But it's amazing what you said about investing in yourself, because the best tour concert I've been to is a Mint Condition, because when you listen to them, Stokey, you it's as if you listen to the album. It was just one of that, and but my two tours where I went on a New Edition Home Again tour, and they had Bobby come out, they had BBD, they had Ralph and Johnny, then they all came together. It was almost like Blackstreet opened for them with No Diggity, so you could see it was just an unbelievable. But as you said, they were, any poll I do now, if 6,000 people would vote, New Edition would always come on top, not because of the music, but it was because their performance. Even as old as they are, they would still not lock it down, and they learned that from the beginning. How did you guys, you said you invested in yourself. Did you look to them and say, stage-wise, we need to emulate them? Because it's not easy for singing groups, because I've seen Boyz II Men back when they had the Evolution album and they tried to dance around. It didn't seem to fit because we knew Boyz II Men as amazing vocalists. So when they were dancing around and doing, the Puffy produced a track for them. I can't remember what it was called. But when they were performing that, it just didn't look right because Boyz II Men were the vocalists and it dancing around didn't seem to fit. How did you guys manage? Because you guys are amazing harmonizing vocalists, but the performance to that, most other groups who dance and choreograph don't have what you guys had.
Well, we were able to get away with it, man, because we created a new genre on our own, man. Because prior to 112, no R&B artist was successful at singing over hip hop beats. 112 created that hip hop R&B sound, and we don't get a lot of credit for that. And I'm telling you this now, man, so you can, help along, the cause when we had these interviews with her. Like you can say, listen, man, 112 was the one that when you go around the table and you talk to other people about R&B, you can tell them 112 was the ones that created that hip hop and R&B vibe. Us along with Mary J. Blige, because there was no R&B artist that was successfully on a consistent basis singing over hip hop beats before 112. And I dare you to find somebody else that can do it. I dare you, like we can see it right now. And I dare you to find somebody who can sing over R&B, who can sing R&B songs over hip hop beats. There wasn't any. 112.
Well, I did interview Buddy Weeks from Intro, so they would probably say, yeah, well, Kenny Green was, he wrote all the Mary stuff.
No.
Okay. I just
and look, I would argue, like, we can get him on the phone right now. We can get him what I mean by successfully do it consistently over a period of time.
The intro do
One
it.
song ain't it.
That's why I say the intro do it. Like I understand Kenny as a writer. You know what I'm saying? Like we wrote a lot of songs for a lot of successful ourselves, but Mike just said something there, like consistently over and over again singing records over hip hop beats. And I mean, at 112, we really didn't have a weak link because we've had successful multi-platinum ballads, we've had successful multi-platinum mids, and those up tempos, which here we go, mids and ups were straight hip hop beats, straight, and we would do the records with rappers that you wouldn't even think, you know what I'm saying? Who would think that we would be singing Cupid and write this ballad, I love you type song, and then all of a sudden, and then also do a multi-platinum #1 record with Mobb Deep, let's say, or Notorious B.I.G. See, that's why I said like what Mike was just saying right there. Like 112, that was our niche, and then we transcended, and you had people trying to emulate it.
Yeah, no, as I said, no one. I mean, it's to come up with 5, 6, 7 albums as an R&B group is almost unheard of in the 90s, because the shelf life was very hard because loads of competition. And what is strange that it wasn't, you had an amazing debut album, then you go platinum with your second, then your third goes double platinum, Peaches and Cream. It was just like, wow. And the consistency definitely was there. But did you then, because the one gripe we did have with some groups was maybe using the backing tracks, just being lazy and just say, okay, we just have a backing track, while others like, okay, we're investing in ourselves, we'll get a band and really, change things around. Did you guys, was there the option, was that something you had to pay for, getting a live band, or did you decide it's cheaper for us to get a backing track and save some money on that?
Yeah, absolutely, man. 112 mindset was always to be better than our constituents. We wanted to be better than Drew Hill. We wanted to be better than Jagged Edge. We wanted to be better than Next. We wanted to be better than As Yet or anybody else that came out during the time that we came out with. And so we figured what was some of the things that we were going to be able to do that were, going to be leaps and bounds better than everybody else. What Slim alluded to earlier, where we put money, instead of taking that advance and spending it on cars and houses and women and all this other stuff, we took that money and we invested in ourselves, and we went and we got into a rehearsal studio
Wow.
And we started learning how to dance, so it didn't look corny, that it didn't look like we were trying too hard to be something that we weren't, and we made it look natural to where it was part of who we were, and that added on another 20 years into our career.
Yeah.
You know, and so that was the mindset that 112 had with that. What are some of the things that we can do that we know that we can do better than everybody else? We knew that as a group we could dance better than anybody else. We knew that as a group we could sing better than anybody else. And so along with those lines, what do we need to do? We need to find a band. Let's create this band. Let's get this band that understands our band, that understands what the 112 sound is.
Wow.
And what we would like, and then just create, you know, that whole vibe. So when you came and saw us, you know, you saw a live band, and you would the expectation would be that you have a live band with 112 when we perform, and then anything less than that would be lower than, so we can command more dollars when we go outside and perform and stuff. So yeah, the band was very vital for 112 to do that.
Yes.
You know, it's almost second nature that you would get a band if you're an R&B singer. Like, you need a band. You know, like at the at the end of the day, you need a band. You can do the band in the box, where people come in and they play over your tracks and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's nothing. It's not like having an actual band who can understand, who can vibe with you, who can slow stuff down with you, who can, you know, speed things up with you, who can, you know, play along with what you're singing, you know, things of that nature, whatever. It's a lot to be said about having your actual band with you versus a band in the box, is what you described.
Yeah. I mean, you think about Big Bob and Today, their band was Basic Black. So Basic Black was their playing band, and then when the guys headed their own split, Basic Black became their own group. But even Guy, I mean, I've interviewed them, and they've talked about how when they put up a show, the band, it was really different. So none of that. Teddy was very much of a perfectionist. We need to sound better than the record and do all the remixes and stuff. I guess I think one of the big things that I wanted to find out is, you talked about getting a manager. You talked about learning about the touring and commanding more money. Who does that? Is it you guys thinking, oh, we need to make more, we need to invest in ourselves because we can get more money on tours, or we're going to make less money on this and that? Does the manager not say, guys, this is the business, this is what's going on, and we're going to do this, and you have a discussion? Or is it you guys having to start reading and looking and finding out and telling the manager this is what we're doing? What was that relationship like?
Well, you know what? There was a combination of both. Like, of course, just the definition of a manager, their job is to manage what, you know what I mean? So us as artists, we have to give the firepower to the people that are supposed to be working at our, you know what I'm saying, for us. So, like Mike and myself, like, we think of all kinds of ways that, that will definitely build the brand and take the brand to the next level. A lot of things, we're sitting here talking about just the talent situation of it. It's only 20% of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of other things that go on with this music industry. So, we just like to be ahead of the ball, you know what I mean, as far as a lot of things. So you're recognizing exactly where you are in your career and what you need to go to the next level. And then you reach out for it, and then you hold people accountable. So we have a team that knows us from day one. And they know exactly what they are. They don't try to step on each other's toes. They do exactly what they're supposed to do. They master in that. Just like Mike and myself, we master it on the stage. You know what I'm saying? So there are certain things that, we will have ideas and this, whatever. And, when we do our situation, chances are we have really, we're students of the game. So we've probably done our research, done homework. This is what we got to do. If we're not doing it now, this is what we need to do. Yeah. Then we have a team that actually knows how to do certain things and then puts it in front of us. You know what I'm saying? So there are no weak links. There are no anything. So, that's why I say, like, we can attest that with us making sure that the brand is still moving at the pace that it's supposed to be. And, our ultimate is to, have that star on the Walk of Fame and, the induction of the Hall of Fame. So, that's basically what we're doing.
Thanks for watching. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, but most importantly, to press the notification bell so that you can be notified when we do have a new interview. Loads to come, but thanks a lot for watching.